Hi everyone. Can you guys see me and hear me properly? Can you guys please confirm whether you can see me and hear me properly? Hi Kunal. Hi Bijain Kumar. Yes, it will be available on my channel. So am I audible properly? Hi aspirant. Hi John. Hi Manivanan. Hi Anuradha. Hi John. Okay, thank you so much for confirming. So it's been a while. It's been so long since we interacted, and I'm really sorry for that. As you know, I was caught up in so many different examinations, and I didn't want to risk it, you can say. But the result you already have seen. I've shared it over Telegram as well as over YouTube. So, yeah, this session is all about RBI Grade-B 2024 examination. Many of you aspirants are have really requested for a session where we could talk about how to approach this examination, because 2023 phase 1 was really very difficult, and we had to kind of take a different approach to clear this examination this time. So for future references, also for future preparation, also we have to keep in mind that this examination is totally unpredictable, and we have to be prepared for the worst case scenario in this for this examination. Uh, okay, hello AB, hello Janad. Well, we'll see about that in future. Okay, so in this particular session, I have jotted down a few points. I will be discussing those points beforehand, and after that, I will be taking your queries. So I would request everyone to hold their horses and hold your questions and just see the session, what I'm going to talk about in this particular session. And after that, I will answer every query of yours. So please have some patience. I have written a few points to talk about here, and I will be discussing each and everything. I'll be changing my screen, so please tell me whether I am visible and audible at the same time. And if the screen is visible to you as well, please confirm. Can you please tell me whether I am audible and visible and you can see the screen behind me? Can you please confirm, guys? Okay, Junaid, thank you so much. So, as you know, I will not talk about the cliched things, the phase 1, phase 2, the interview. Everyone knows that. I will be talking about the approach. Since 2023 examination was very difficult, and we will be talking about the approach of GA, Quant, Reasoning, English, and then we move on to phase 2, and we will be talking about the ESI section, the finance section, the management, and the English descriptive. So let's talk about the phase 1 first. This is the most interesting, I would say. It is the most interesting phase because it's becoming difficult year by year. In 2021, there was a sudden shock because descriptive was added and the phase 1 was not in lines with what one aspirant could have expected. But at the same time, it was really interesting to know that now RBI is demanding something from RBI Grade B officers, and we have to have a full-fledged knowledge about everything that we cover. Although the coverage of quant reasoning, English, and GA is absurd, some of the questions were really absurd. I've talked about everything regarding GA in my previous video. You can check it out. So let's talk about the quant reasoning and English section of phase 1, because I've already told you that phase 1 and phase 2 are linked with general awareness. So you have to prepare for general awareness in a combined manner, in a combined fashion for phase 1 as well as for phase 2. Let's talk about quant, reasoning, and English. My shift was shift 2, but most of the aspirants who were from shift 1, they were saying that quant was really very difficult. I made some silly mistakes in quantitative aptitude, but in my shift, approximately 8 to 9 questions were doable. So it could have done, but because of some mistakes that I did, I was not able to do that. But in quantitative aptitude, questions were difficult and were lengthy, of course, but there were some 7 to 8 questions in my shift which were doable. But in shift one, most of the questions were very difficult. So for quantitative aptitude, you not only have to have a knowledge of specific concept, you also need to practice a little bit of complex questions regarding that particular concept. And the questions regarding IBPS PO pre-level or SBI PO pre-level won't suffice. For example, in most of the banking exams, the questions which are asked in the examination are mostly related to the shortcuts which are applied to the question because they want you to solve the questions quickly. But in the phase one of RBI Grade B, the questions are lengthier, the questions have concepts and are really important. And it is really important for every aspirant to read everything what they are witnessing in a particular question. For example, you have to witness line by line what the examiner is asking in quantitative aptitude. And mostly, let me be very frank, you will not be able to attempt all questions, obviously, because the exam is very tough. You will be able to attempt at least 9 to 12 questions in the examination if you have prepared thoroughly about the concepts, because it's all about, reading the question carefully and then solving it. So for quantitative aptitude, if you're a beginner, if your concepts are not clear, then you can watch any of the YouTube videos. There are several available. For example, you can check out Adda's YouTube channel or Olive Board's YouTube channel, or Ashish Arora sir, Studyfied YouTube channel, or even there is a channel called Learning Capsules by Harshal Agarwal sir. That channel is also very, very helpful because he has put up a playlist of mains questions, the banking mains questions, and the RBI Grade B paper, the previous year papers of quantitative aptitude. And he has put up some of the very difficult and important questions with reference to these examinations. So you can also check out that channel. So let me write down some of the sources for you. For quantitative aptitude, your general concept building using any of the YouTube channels, plus some of the questions, the difficult level of questions practiced through learning capsules YouTube channel. This YouTube channel is handled by Harshal Agarwal sir, and he actually puts up really very interesting, important, and means level kind of questions for the quantitative aptitude. So you can practice those questions. I guess there are approximately 200 to 300 videos of means level DI, means level arithmetic, everything. So you can check out those playlists daily, and you can cover easily many questions for your examination. And then you will be able to you able to make sure that you will be attempting about 9 to 10 questions or 9 to 12 questions in the examination. So yes, this is quantitative aptitude for you for phase one. Next is the reasoning section. Reasoning section in my shift was a little easier, and easier in the sense that there were some questions regarding the critical reasoning portion, which were totally depend. The options in those questions were really very much helpful because by looking into those options, we could easily say that yes, this would be the correct inference, or this would be the correct conclusion. So all of those things really matter. So in critical reasoning section, it was a bit easier, and also some of the questions, some of the mains level questions like coded inequalities or coded silogs or whatever, those were lengthy, but those were easier also. So you need a lot of practice for this. For reasoning, I've already talked about many sources in my YouTube videos that you can check out any videos from Adda or Oliveboard or whatever kind of sources that you might feel comfortable with. And after that, there will be practicing through mocks. I've talked about for RBI Grade B specifically, practice mock is amazing. Practice mock tests are amazing, and you can substitute it with Olive Board mock tests. And SmartKida mock tests are also very, very important also, and very complex questions are also given there. So you can check out these mock test series for quantitative aptitude also and for reasoning also, because you will be finding many questions, many important questions that would be helpful for your examination, many lengthy questions, main level questions in these three mock tests. So I will be recommending you to first watch the videos if you haven't cleared your concepts, and after that practice maximum questions using these three mock tests. Okay. Next is the English. English, I generally do not prepare for English separately. In also mock tests, I don't attempt English completely. In mock tests, I only attempt the comprehension passage and para jumbles, if any. I don't attempt the error detection questions in mock tests. So for English, actually, my English has been really good from my background, from my studying background or everything. So I did not prepare for English that much. I used to read one paragraph daily from a book. I've always recommended that book, that is Verbal Ability and Comprehension for Cat. This is Arun Sharma's CAT book for verbal ability and comprehensive skills. So you can refer this book for comprehension passages because in RBI Grade B, at least this time the comprehension passage was easy, but there could be times where it could become difficult for, let's say, in SBI PO mains examination or even IBP's PO mains examination, the comprehension passages are difficult to understand. You need to actually read about two times the whole complete passage, and after that you need to solve the questions, and even the questions are not direct. Sometimes they are asking you the inference of a particular paragraph, or they are asking what the author is trying to convey in this passage, and all the options under that particular question seem relevant, seem that this could be the answer or all of them could be the answer. So that kind of practice is needed to be made sure of while reading the comprehension passages. So I always recommend that try to read at least one paragraph daily from this book. And if you are not reading this book, then obviously you can refer to these mock tests because they have also good quality of comprehension passages in them. And if your English is really weak, if you are not familiar with the concepts of, let's say, grammar or let's say anything else, then you can refer to the videos. Obviously, Adda has good faculties of English. Olive Board has also good videos. All the other institutes could also be better. So if you feel comfortable with any of the sources, you can do them. You can actually solve all the questions or practice your English skills from those videos. So that is what I wanted to talk about the quant reasoning and English section. Make sure then whenever you are attempting the paper or whenever you are preparing for these subjects, make sure that you are not going to miss as much marks in English as you would probably in quantitative aptitude or reasoning, because English is really very scoring and it would boost your score to actually clear the cutoff. So English should be well prepared if you are not prepared, but if you are prepared, or let's say your English is inherently better, then you can actually improve your reading skills by reading some of the editorials from the newspapers, or let's say the book that I recommended you. You can also do that to improve your reading comprehensive abilities. So this is all about the quantitative aptitude, the reasoning, and the English section. I will be talking about the GA section thoroughly, and I will be talking about the GA section in uh, a combined fashion for phase one also and for phase two also, because you have to prepare for GA in a combined fashion, in a combined format. So let's talk about the general awareness section. You have seen, I have also talked about it in my previous video, that the questions are lengthier now. There are about 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 lines in a question, and also there are some of the statements given under that particular question, and you need to omit those statements, or you need to understand what the statement is saying, and then you need to answer. Also, from what we have seen from the phase two, you have seen the schemes which are asked in an application based format. It was also done in 2022, but in 2023 it was done a little bit more difficult. There were the options, there were the statements which were given in an application based format for a particular scheme, and you needed to identify whether this particular person, which is actually signifying a particular case study, is beneficiary of that particular scheme or not, and you needed to take that. So everything is not all about grasping or cramming the facts of a particular scheme or particular report. You need to understand it and apply it. The questions are application based now. So all you need to do is whatever you are reading, you have to do a background check for that, and you have to be make sure that whatever you are reading is in relevance to the syllabus, because GA has not asked anything, or they have asked very little questions from the trash portion, which is trash portion is something which is not a part of the syllabus, but which is some random stuff. For example, any app which has been launched by a bank, or let's say uh, there is a sports or obituaries or this and that, all of those things. So in phase one of RBI Grade B, they have not asked much questions about the trash GA. They have asked maximum questions which are related to the syllabus, which are related to the economic and social issues, which are related to finance section. In finance section also, which are related to RBI annual report, or let's say RBI notifications or circulars which they publish. So each and everything is needed to be covered very thoroughly. I will be writing down a list. You can write down with me. I will be writing down a list which I am going to prepare from and which you should prepare, because the time is way more for us for the next year's examination. So we can be much regular with whatever we are reading. And after that, we have to make sure that whatever we are reading should be revised properly and should be covered thoroughly. Not even the breadth of it, but also the depth of it. I've always talked about it. So first source is the PIB. PIB is the Bible of an RBI Grade B aspirant. So make sure that you are reading the PIB daily and only pick up those articles which are relevant for the examination, which are relevant according to the syllabus of RBI Grade B mains examination, because in phase one also they are asking maximum questions from PIB. And also PIB, for example, you are reading a particular news. I will make a video for how to cover the PIB thoroughly on your own. I will make a separate video about it. I will just give a brief introduction here that whenever you are reading PIB, for example, you witness that in a PIB article, there is a scheme mentioned. So make sure that you take a rough notebook, or let's say a page, in which you write down the name of that particular scheme. You don't need to cover it right away, but you at least need to know that this scheme was in the news in this particular month or in this particular article, and make sure that you write that down. Okay, because you might witness that kind of scheme in the actual examination. For example, recently PM Vishwakarma was basically launched. So they can make some of the application based questions regarding Vishwakarmas, or what in what category, how many categories of Vishwakarmas are there, how many um, let's say how many professions are there which are involved in Vishwakarma. If you know, let me know down in the comment section how many professions are included in the PM Vishwakarma scheme, because it is given in the guidelines document of PM Vishwakarma. That is what I needed to talk about the next, which is schemes. Schemes. Schemes are very lengthy. Schemes are very hard to remember because there are so many things to remember. You need to know the nodal ministry of that particular scheme. You need to know the beneficiaries. You need to know the features. You need to know who will be benefiting, who will be not benefiting, how much amount has basically government has put into that particular scheme, how it will be implemented, or whatever kind of thing. There will be so many things that will be involved in schemes. So make sure that you are reading schemes thoroughly and try to implement the scheme's features. Try to read everything, or try to read at least important things from the original guidelines document. I'm sorry, guidelines document. Because it will be very essential for you to know about these things, as there are application based questions involved now. In phase 2, they are giving a particular case study for you. Let's say Ram is a worker and he got it into an accident, and he's working in a factory with 10 persons or more uh, as employees, and he has been gone into an accident, and because of that accident he has become partially disabled. So according to this particular scheme, how much amount he will be getting, or is he a beneficiary of this particular scheme, or Atal Pension Yojana, or Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana? This kind of question is being asked because these are case study based questions, and you not only need to remember the features, you also need to apply those features into the actual question. So that is why whatever you are reading, whatever detail that you are reading, you need to actually think of a situation that if I am in that particular situation, if I am an artisan, or if I am a Vishwakarma, and if I need a particular credit incentive from the government, or let's say a particular credit from the banks, or let's say a particular benefit from the government, in which particular scheme I'm basically being placed, and what are the features which I am getting involved into. So that kind of whole thinking process should be there while you are covering the schemes. There are so many sources for schemes. You can pick any basic source. For example, you can pick a Vision IAS document, and after picking the Vision IAS document, take a scheme and search it over Google and write down PIV. For example, let's say you are studying PM Vishwakarma. So you have